apologize for the error in pronunciation. Extrapolations studied cast and creator talk urgency of climate change. This is the biggest existential existential story of our time. Okay. Scott Red Burns proved far too present for comfort when he wrote Contagion. The 2011 pandemic thriller that became one of the most streamed movies in the early weeks of the real life COVID-19 lockdowns 9 years later. It's scary then to think how accurate his crystal ball could be with extrapolations. The new star started the Apple TV analogy series that takes a high plausible and according to Burns and collaborators very scientific look at what the near future he could look like with the worsening global effects of climate change. The projects to do share some of the same DNA Burns tell us during a recent virtual press day. I think the process that we explored as right and creators is very similar. Say Burns, how was also a producer on the Oscar-winning 2006 documentary and in convenient trash featuring former vice president Al Gore. We started with the science. We take it to experts. We asked them what could happen. Obviously, with the pandemic, there had been doubts in the past. And to everyone, how we spoke, we said it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. I think we tackling the future and climate change. It's not a matter of if because you're seeing climate change very day right now. Is in fire, in a storm, in extreme heat. So it's not a matter of if, but to us it was a matter of what. What are we going to tolerate, and what are we going to stand up and fight? And that's really both the similarities and the difference in the process for us starting in 2037 and running through 2070 over 8 episodes. Extrapolations imaging a world where wildfire swallow up large swaths of the globe. Rising sea levels, sinking Miami buildings, and Lipan and Wall are uh, all but extinct. The subject matter caught Hollywood's attention. And the cast list read like an award ceremony. Muriel Streep, Edward Norton, Sina Miller, Kit Harrington, Diane Land, today Major Forrest Whitaker, Matthew Rice, Heather Graham, Gemma Gann, David Sauvignon, Corey Russell, David Dick, and more. The lips, the Scots making are actually lips. This is the trajectory we're going on, says Dig Hamilton, playing spotting how plays a Florida Rabbi House template is in jeopardy of flooding. Not that we have to, but we also could not, but this that's gonna have to be active. We are not gonna be able to sit here and have it not happen. What I think is so great about Scott's mission here is providing us with as much information as he can give us over the course of the show, but also how fully in spring us to be a little more active in how we think about climate change, and then going out and finding the research on our own to be more effective in fighting it. Okay. Diag's customers agree we're well past the point of cautionary tales. Extrapolations is a call to action. It's crucial time for something like this to be made, says Mikhail Gandolfini, the many saints of Newark. Scott has a real ability to educate in a way that is not preachy but informative and kind, and also grounded in humanity. You'll want to say, what can I do? I can be a part of protests or marches. I can have my reusable water bottle. I can educate myself. These aren't prediction, and I want to say, right, it's all happening now. We are seeing it in real time. We are seeing the beginning of everything portrayed portrayed in this show right now. Lane has already done the protest part. The unfaithful actors was arrested in 2019 during a climate change protest in Washington, D.C. I was willing to get arrested protesting. She says, you wanna know what zip code you're doing that in? And I wouldn't do it outside of the United States, but being action help with depression about climate change. And I think this shows that we're gonna be proactive, and we are not gonna go down without a fight. Whether that means fitting own selves or fighting our own nature. The cast also stresses the show's clear and entertainment value, not just educational or social value. Okay, I think when you personalize things and make it visceral, it can make a difference, says Graham. As an actor, you want to entertain people too. It's frightening, but it's real. Indira Varma, louder Game of Thrones. Often you hear about change and what's happening, what it's doing, and it can feel meaningless unless you're living it. But only when we tell stories we can reach more people because it's about how we feel. Stories stay agree Tahar Rahim, the Mauritanian movies and TV series have a special power. Says Bern 60, I grew up during a where there were all these films that really built context around the Vietnam War, and that was sort of the big story of America in the moment. It was apocalypse now, or deer hunter, or clean fields, or burn on the 40th Jolly. All of these movie helped me understand as a kid what just happened. Well, it is. This is what's happening now. This is the biggest existential story of our time, and I do believe that as a writer, and I think our fellow collaborators on this felt the same way, that this was an opportunity to help give context to that, and I think it is through providing people with context that you allow to them to go and find their own pace to action. I love you. Goodbye.